Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Executive Assistant Handbook. My name is Anetta, and in this corner of the internet, we talk about productivity, systems, and the strategies that help you stay one step ahead. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that can make or break your effectiveness using your calendar to stay on top of deadlines. Because let's be honest, missing a deadline isn't usually about lack of effort, it's about a lack of visibility. So, let's fix that. But before we get into it, if you're looking for some more support outside of my videos, I offer personalized coaching sessions that focus on you and what areas you'd like to level up in. Comment assistant below or fill out the form in my bio to get started. Okay, so the first step is mindset. Your calendar isn't just a list of meetings, it's your command center. Every project, deliverable, or report deadline should live there, not buried in an email or a task list. So start by looking at your current projects. Ask, what are the key deliverables? When are they due? And what's the lead time I realistically need to complete each one? Once you've identified that, plot each final deadline into your calendar and then create a work back schedule. So, for example, if a report is due on Friday, don't just mark submit report on that day. What you want to do is on Friday, you're say deadline report due. Let's say 3 days before, put yourself another reminder. XYZ report due on Friday. And then a week prior to that, another reminder that says due in 1 week, XYZ report. And that way, anytime you're in the calendar, you're constantly seeing and being reminded of this report that is due. And that way, nothing slips through the cracks. Now, let me make a comment on this though, too, because right now you might be thinking, ugh, this is more work to do. But trust me, doing this little bit of legwork at the beginning pays off huge dividends as you go through the process. And what you also want to do, so like a side tip, not only are you adding these reminders in your calendar, in tandem, you should also be using the time to block time in your calendar to work on the report or the project or whatever you're working on. So it's not enough to just say, hey, reminder that it's due in 1 week. Actually go in and block time in your calendar as a work period to work on the project. Now, to be fair, yes, things might come up and might get sidetracked. But if you put in enough blocks to work on your project, at some point you will be able to sit down and actually do the work. Next, I like to think of managing the calendar in layers. So, for example, layer one are your hard deadlines, things that are non negotiable. The next layer are your work blocks, dedicated time to make progress and do the work. And the final layer are reminders and buffers, those little nudges that prevent last minute chaos and keep the report or the deadline, whatever is due, top of mind. And to help you a little bit more on this, you can use different colors for each layer. So, for example, the red for final deadlines, blue for any progress milestones, and yellow for prep or review days. And this color coding is great because just like when you color code your boss's calendar, color coding your own calendar creates these visual cues for you. So that way, when you open your week, you can instantly see what's urgent versus what's in motion and what needs to get worked on. So here's a few more extra tips to make your system airtight. Use calendar alerts. So, for example, 2 weeks before, a week before, a few days before, and the last one the day of. And again, this keeps the deadline top of mind, and that way it doesn't, slip beneath the cracks. Next one is add links into the calendar descriptions to files, checklists, or notes. That way, when it's time to work on something, you can literally just go into the calendar invite and everything is there for you, as opposed to the reminder saying, oh, hey, work on XYZ project. And then now you have to go back into your email, try to find all the links and decks or reports that you need to work on your report. And what might even happen is that you get sidetracked because you see, an email came in and you end up answering that, and then you don't end up doing the work that you need to do. So having everything in one spot really helps you stay productive. And then finally, keep your deadlines in view. Whenever you're looking at your calendar, scan the top to see what's coming up. In closing, your calendar isn't just a place to track time. It's a tool to manage momentum. When you start using it to visualize your deadlines, you transform stress into structure. So if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more productivity strategies tailored for executive assistants. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.